Hi everyone. Today we are learning about unit rate. We're actually spending our second day on unit rate. Super important. The reason I'm spending 2 days on this is because I want to make sure that you completely understand this. So let's make sure that you do. The unit rate could be something like texting per minute, students per bus, dollars per hour, miles per gallon, and pizza slices per person, for just a few examples there. I'm going to make that smaller, it's too big. So let us start out. There is a video, and you can go ahead and type this into a window, which is vimeo.com//6888 888-6279, and when you type that in, you will get a 3-minute video about a skateboarding dog. And the skateboarding dog's name is Tillman. He's special because he can skateboard, he can surf, he can snowboard. How do we know he's the fastest? Well, he would have had to have a race or be timed in some way, and he was. In 2009, Tillman received the Guinness Book of Records Award for the fastest skateboarding dog, and he rode 100 meters in 20 seconds. So with that information, what we would like to do is to figure out his unit rate. We want to write it as a ratio in fraction form in order to do that. So the way we do that is we put 100 meters over 20 seconds. We want to simplify, and for right now we're using labels until we finish at the end. This example is special because we have two different units being compared, meters and seconds. So therefore we are going to create a unit of, well, it is a rate because there are two different units, and we want to find the unit rate by putting the denominator as 1. That is the special rate. It is a unit rate when the denominator is 1. So we take that 100 meters per 20 seconds and we simplify it. And it simplifies down to, oh, another big fat pen there. It simplifies down to 5 meters for 1 second. Down here it says Tillman's speed was 5 minutes to 1 second. A unit rate is a comparison of two different quantities where one measurement only has one unit, the denominator. So we would not actually say Tillman ran 5 or skated 5 meters to 1 second. We would go ahead and write it as 5 meters per second. And the 1, that would be right here, is implied. It's implied that it's only 1 second for every 1 second, per 1 second, per second. So a rate and a unit rate are often found in the following real-world situations: time and distance, such as Homer ran 60 yards in 20 seconds, cooking and measuring, such as a brownie recipe has 4 cups of flour for every 2 cups of sugar, or something about prices. Casey spent $80 on 8 pizzas. All rates have unit rates. Have unit rates, but also all rates and unit rates have two different measurements: yards, seconds. Cups of flour and cups of sugar, they're both cups, but one is flour, one is sugar. Here we have dollars and pizza, so they're two different measurements. The 2 is important here to show the rate. A unit rate can be found using the following steps. So here's the example, number 2. Write Homer's speed as a unit rate. Homer ran 60 yards in 30 seconds. So step number 1 is we write as a rate in fraction form. So we would write 60 yards over 30 seconds. and we keep the units there to help us. The second step is going to be to simplify the rate so the denominator is 1. So we will divide this out, 60 divided by 30. 60 divided by 30 is 2 yards for 1 second. So Homer runs 2 yards per second. 2 yards for every 1 second, or 2 yards per second. All right, let's look at another example of brownies. So in this example, a brownie recipe has 4 cups of flour for every 2 cups of sugar. We want to write the rate in fraction form. So let's go ahead and write that we have 4 cups of flour for every 2 cups of sugar. Okay. Step 2 is to simplify the rate so the denominator is 1. So we are going to divide 4 by 2, and we get 2 cups of flour to 1 cup of sugar. And what that looks like is down here. But wait, you might ask, as I said before, are we comparing cups of flour to cups of sugar? Does that count as a unit rate? It does, because one is flour, one is sugar, like I said above. So the rate is 2 to 1, flour to sugar. All right, here is our last example. Ricardo wants to buy 40 keychains for his new business. An online merchant has the following special posted: 80 keychains for $40. So Ricardo completes the following calculations to find the unit price. He goes ahead and he says 80 divided by 40 is 2 keychains for $1. Is that the unit rate? No, this is not the unit rate. Per unit is per the price per chain. So when that happens, we need to make sure we write it down correctly, where we have what we are looking for the unit on the bottom, which is the denominator. So we have 80 keychains, and then the other unit on the top, which is $40. When we simplify that, we get $1 over 2 keychains, but I want 1 keychain. So I need to divide this by 2 and divide this by 2, and I end up getting 1/2 over 1 keychain. This is dollars. And if you had put that in your calculator, you actually would have gotten the official amount, which is 1/2 of $1 or 50 cents per keychain. Okay, and that's what all of this is written down. I have extra stuff. Okay, so the last thing is a summary. A rate is a ratio that compares 2 different units. A unit rate, represented as a fraction, has a denominator of 1. How are unit rates and rates similar? Both are ratios. How are they different? The unit rate is for 1 unit. Then a rate is not necessarily for 1 unit. A real-world example could be dollars per hour, could be words per minute, and many other types of things that you can think of. Gallons, miles per gallon, hours per, let's see, what would we have hours? How long it takes hours to make, or minutes per machine. How many minutes does it take to assemble this machine? Something of that sort. So I hope that video helps you do your assignment for class, and I will see you next time.